the devils are here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ghost Reveries, our Zweihander grim and perilous RPG experience. If we want to call it something super fancy.
You sound bougie. Good job.
Yeah. We
Real
usually,
luxury.
we need to adjust my camera. Oh god, I'm so tiny and so small within my frame. Hold on a second here. Hold on. I'm gonna get very,
Intimate.
very
Oh.
intimate.
Yeah, it's gonna be an Asthma
he's
channel.
getting handsy.
It's that POV element now.
Just gonna get nice and close to
It's
the
like,
audience.
Senpai.
Alright, there we go. That's better. That looks better. Now I am not so far away. Hi. Welcome to another episode that brought to you, produced by Andrew McNeil's Publishing and Grim and Perilous Studios. We work with them just happily. They're great to work with. I did an interview with Dana Fox, the creator of Zweihander, before the show started. We've been playing this game. The setting is the
My
system
immersion's broken.
is fantastic.
I'm okay. Who wears short shorts?
Not me today.
I'm not wearing pants.
Off to a great start.
No one made it awkward. It would have been fine.
So anyway, we're over here running this here game. That is now on episode 8.
Yep.
Got like 5 episodes left
No.
of this
I'm fine.
one. I'm thinking this is getting intense. But before we get started, we always like to do some quick announcements. So who's ready for some more Zweihander? Some more Ghost Reveries for tonight's episode. Episode 8, entitled, if I remember right, say it's Beneath the Surface. And that's where we left off. Hat in hand, hand out, Obadiah Cyrus. A pleasure.
Nice to meet you, sir. I offer
He
my hand.
takes your hand, leans in. Orange blossoms. Delicate and beautiful. And you? Who might you be?
She offers a hand. I am Lady Katarina Devon.
A pleasure to meet you.
Does he have any recognition? His face is still as we're playing
Make,
poker. Everyone's hearts are probably like, but
I'm gonna have.
how good are you?
I'm gonna have to have you make a.
He sniffed you.
I know.
So this is going to be a. We're gonna cross some attributes here. So
Alright.
it's going to be perception based, but you're going to use your ranks
Okay.
of charm.
Oh.
Great.
So an interesting.
Oh, actually,
question.
ranks of guile. Ranks of guile.
So
Still fellowship.
yeah. Well.
It's fellowship plus. I'm sorry. Yeah. So it's fellowship. Normally it's fellowship, but I want you to use your perception.
Yes. So
Both are the
an
same.
interesting question, considering our conundrum here with Cyrus. Would Silver Tongue apply in any way? Where do you sit, sir?
Stats wise, if we're using pure stats, equal. So no
Okay.
no silver tongue bonus.
What is the difficulty?
Well, I'm gonna find out, and we're actually going to compare.
Okay.
So if you succeed,
At standard, yes.
and then you have to find out your degrees of success. So the way you do degrees of success is if you succeed, you take the tens place of your die, and you add the bonus from the stat.
Fellowship or a perception?
This is perception.
Okay.
So what is your perception bonus?
Oh, it's 3. So that's my degrees of success is 4.
Okay.
Okay, and so it would be a success. I rolled a 13.
So 1 plus your perception bonus is your degree of success.
So 6.
Okay.
I failed. Not critically, but I
That's all we could ask
don't
for.
know if I
We don't
wanted-
need another one of those nights.
I don't know if I wanted to succeed.
And you rolled a 13?
Yes, my perception bonus is a 5.
Charm bonus is slightly better.
Yeah.
Because I rolled a 6 as well. But I rolled an 8 total on the dice. So my degrees of success was a 6 as well, but my perception bonus, my fellowship bonus is technically 1 higher. You can't get a read. Neither of you can get a read as to if he really doesn't know you or if he's playing some game.
He sniffed me.
Yes, he sniffed you.
Sable also used the same name that she did when she was caught, if that means anything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nothing.
You see, he actually kind of rubs the
Oh,
two
the-
fingers
the-
while he holds your hand. He kind of rubs his hand around yours. These are fine leather. A fantastic set of fantastic craftsmanship went into making these, I see. He ignores Sieg. I would love to stick around, but I have responsibilities elsewhere currently. I was just dropping by to say hello to my wonderful friend, and he takes Lady Vetlin's hand. My wonderful friend, the Lady Vetlin, kisses her hand. I will be seeing you soon, I hope. Puts his hat on, gives a little tap on top. You can hear the empty thunk. Ladies. And he walks right past everybody, heads out to the walk, his cane tapping as he goes. Walks past and down the road, occasionally just slightly looking over his shoulder with a wry smile as he continues away. Lady Esperona. Oh. Well, he must have been in a rush completely. Did not say hello to me. Well, can't account for all manners of such kindness, can you? And there's a slight little chuckle between the two ladies.
Does Vetlin seem... And no one seems... This is fine. Everyone's fine?
Did you say that out loud, or was that
No.
like just okay?
No, it was standard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you know him from?
Lady Vetlin turns. Oh, we've attended the same services every once in a while, and a familiar face becomes a fine... It becomes a comfort. And we have had theological conversations in the past. Make another awareness test.
No. I failed.
Ooh, success. I got an 8.
Ooh.
Fail.
No
What was
one's
your-
paying attention to Sieg. He will get all the details.
Yes.
All right, so the successes,
Oh, I rolled an 8.
No, you succeeded.
Yeah.
you succeeded, but
Yes.
what's your bonus?
My perception bonus is a 3.
It's a 3. So you rolled an 8,
Mhm.
which means no 10 place.
Yep.
So a 3. She seems a little like she's searching for the words, but everything seems on the up and up. He's just a fantastic conversationalist. I do enjoy his company when I'm able to. So, shall we have an afternoon meal? Lady Vetland says as she gestures towards her apartment. It's like as I said last episode, it's a brownstone-like building. It's tall, it's narrow, there's a small yard on the side. These are fine apartments that anybody in their right mind would love to have as a home. This is their away from home little apartment that they put up with. It is a 6-bedroom, servants' quarters attached, full kitchen palace of a brownstone, but to them it's
Temporary lodgings.
I feel so confined. As you turn to go in, a runner dashes up and runs up to Lady Esperona's guard. Taps her on the shoulder. She looks down at him. A young boy. He's wearing the you know how in times past when you had an apprentice, you basically dressed them as a mini version of the profession that they're going to be in. So he looks like a small lawyer with a very tight powdered wig to his head with the small ponytail and a red ribbon. Fine clothes, but no sleeves. Apparently, you have to become
Earn your sleeves.
an official before you can have sleeves. So his billowy white shirt kind of flaps as he was running, with kind of calf-high knickers and white socks, large buckle, low-heeled shoes. Nothing too crazy, so he can run. He kind of slid along the cobblestones when he got to her. Tapped her on the shoulder. She leans down. And he whispers in her ear, you can make eavesdrop tests if you wish to try and listen in.
Perception.
Success. Fail.
Fail.
Success.
You catch a couple of things saying that there's an issue with a recent document that the lady had submitted, and it needs ratification. Basically, resubmission. Verification of the information on the document.
How convenient.
Her guard captain holds a hand out, and a royal writ with attached seal and paper and a wax seal and that cloth approval text is handed over. She reads it quickly, nods, hands it back to the boy, turns and says, my lady, I must ask that we return to the House of Lords. It seems that there is a parliamentary procedure that was missed, and you must re-verify information and ratify a document ever so quickly, and it is urgent. Lady Esperona looks exacerbated at this. She turns to Lady Vetland and says, it seems that our lunch will have to wait, but would you still please entertain my friends? I would hate to have invited them along and then have my business get in the way of a pleasant evening getting to know somebody as lovely as you. Lady Vetland turns and, of course. Lady Anya, Mistress Sable, please. join. Oh no, right.
Okay, sorry, there was a new level of panic if that was canon.
No. That was not.
Okay. Thank you.
Devin.
Yes.
Mistress Devin, please. Please join me. And she actually points over to, she nods at a servant off to the side and just kind of gestures to Sieg. And he kind of runs over and says, just whispers over into your ear. Hey, if you come with me, I can get you something.
Something like...
Something to eat.
Oh, alright,
I'm sorry, do you have a lord in front of your name?
no.
Well, then you're not eating with them.
I'm supposed to be protecting that one.
Yeah, we got guards all around the whole place.
Yeah, I'm a guard.
Yeah, not in this house.
Okay. Then sure. Let's go get some of our own food. Let's see if they can get something nice in the kitchen or whatever.
Lady Esperona bows to everyone, walks over, gives a little kiss to Anya.
Hard work is never done.
I'm so sorry. We'll catch up soon, I promise.
Yes, I'll make sure to meet up shortly. You still need to tell me more about your nephew, was it? Or what was it?
It was nephew.
I didn't write that part down because I didn't want to.
Yes, it was her nephew that she was talking a storm up about.
Yes.
Oh, of course. You enjoy your meal. And she turns and absolutely floats towards the House of Lords, her small retinue and banner bearer collapsing in and moving along towards the large administration building that isn't too far away. It's you can literally see the front door from where you are.
What a shame. I really had looked forward to meeting more of your friends, Lady Anya.
Oh, now we've made a new one.
Yes, there's nothing to be said that quite equals new friends. Come inside. She walks over and one of her servants opens the door. And the three of you head inside. As soon as you get past the threshold, the servant that was walking alongside with Sieg just kind of grabs him by the arm, is like, come on.
Kind of like glances over at Sable and he's just like rolls his eyes like, yeah.
She kind of like presses here where you know she keeps the dagger.
And he comes along with the servant.
So the two experiences are rather different, because the second Sieg gets past the beautiful, well-adorned, finely painted foyer with a stair, a tall marble stair heading up to the right, balustrade of marble, of a matching marble, with a black marble rail.
Oh man, I'm compromised.
Okay.
That warm green from the Vetland crest dominates the painted wall that is just above the carved wood. I forget what the basically paneling.
Yeah, the molding.
Yes, and you can see that it's all like reeds. The paneling is all reeds to match the theme of the Vetland coat of arms. You're taken past the stairs and towards a well-lit, open dining hall just past the stairway. Sieg, as soon as you get through the door on the other side, it's bare wood walls. They've been lacquered just enough to preserve the wood. they didn't really put in much effort to hide the braces. And you can see small little piles of servants' things kept on the braces of the wall on the other side.
Like
Turning-
cubbies?
Well, how you can see the raw woodwork on the other side of the wall. It's not a finished wall on the other side.
And their stuff is like literally on top of the inner
Yes.
things of the
Using them like
woodwork.
shelves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have no shelving. Their personal belongings are just kind of stuffed onto the wood of the walls. You're taken through into the kitchens. Now the kitchens are decently, they're clean. They are, most of the light is warm from the open fires that are being used to cook. And you can see that a large pig is being broken down after having been roasted. Lunch.
Not a pork lately.
Pair of a pair of cooks sit there tearing at the flesh, creating like a pulled pork with a pair of forks.
Mm-hmm.
The skin is being cut off, and pieces are being cut for crackling to be thrown back into oil, frying the pork fat. And a bowl of some broth, chunked vegetables, and not just one. You're lucky. You got two because you're a guest. Two pig's feet in the bowl. Just puts it down in front of you.
They can actually be very delicious. I've had one.
This is what we have. They're going to be in the next room over.
All right. So, are you specifically servant with Miss Vetland, or are you kind of part of the place here?
Oh, I live here year round. I'm Lady Vetland's apartments manager.
Well, so when she's not here, then you get the whole place to yourself, right?
To clean, yes.
Well, I mean, who else? I mean, does anyone else stay here when Lady Vetland is?
My wife and two kids.
Okay, then yeah, that's great that you're able to have your whole family here. That's really wonderful. God, I wish I grew up with being able to live in a place like this.
Yeah. We're living it up here. Don't let your pig's feet get cold. As he goes over and starts assembling a tray.
He did a slurpy sound and it sounded like he was actually slurping something. How are you that good at this?
You know what? All your training. This was the perfect time.
I've got a good level of saliva right now.
Ah, God.
It's all that pig feet talk.
Ew.
Oh, God, guys.
I'm just being honest.
Fucking ew.
Slowly being invaded in my eye socket with a piece of hair dye. I'm not having a seizure.
I had one before.
So Zeke will just sort of like find a place in the kitchen, whether that's just like a corner or just somewhere.
There's a couple of small tables. There's like a nook with like a single leg with a cross. Like it's not great furniture, but it's functional. And you're fairly sure this might also be a butcher's block because you can see deep groove marks and blood stains in the wood.
Okay.
For when you're for when it's not currently being used as a table.
All right, then he'll just take a seat, slurp in some of that pig's feet broth, and so I guess he'll just
little pork stew action.
Yeah, I guess at this point he's like, you know, this isn't that bad. I mean, if no one's gonna insult me here, then that's fine. I'm just gonna wait it out.
There's also in the he the gentleman, the server walks over, the servant walks over and a piece of bread that you're fairly sure could also be used to hold up a card table. Just kind of drops it and just kind of bounces and clatters. And you can see that it's still kind of got grease on it. It's a used trencher. It's just, here you go, the fresh stuff we only use for guests and Lord and Lady Vetland.
Understood. I mean, have you ever thought about just making another batch for yourself?
No, everything gets weighed. I have to keep a very tight inventory of everything here.
Right.
Otherwise, we might get accused of stealing. And I'd like to keep my children's digits in the double digits, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I can follow you on that.
My name's Messino. If you need me, I'll be here or in the next room.
All right, I'm a Sig. It's a pleasure. Thank you for the food. And thank you two guys. Kind of like
just
does a
kinda
little wave over at the chefs.
Just holds up a fork, goes back to shredding. In another room, which feels like 1,000 miles away, on the fine marbled floor that is actually checkered with blue and green stained marbles. Stained marble being it's a white marble, but obviously they've rubbed some kind of compound into it, so the veins of the marble pop with the color desired, and there's a light tinge to the rest of it of that.
Do they make dice? Sorry.
Did you not write it down? Messino.
Messino. Okay, I hadn't heard that name before.
It's checker marked, and the table, the legs look like carved reeds are holding up the table at 4 points. But it's a long table, so there's extra legs at different at intervals for structure, of course. There is a tablecloth only down at each place setting, an individual tablecloth at each place setting, alternating green and blue, green and blue. And on the green placemats are blue napkins in silver rings, and on the blue placemats are green napkins with silver rings. Fine gold trimmed porcelain plateware sits at each table with matching gold. You're not 100% sure if it's pure gold or if it's maybe just gold plated. You're not sure. But they look like gold silverware, gold cutlery at each setting. As you sit down, the chair's not touched by you. A servant walking over, pulling the chair out, allowing you to sit, and then pushing your butts in. Bread is placed on the table, and large, single personal butter dishes are put in front of each place setting. It is only the three of you at a table that could obviously seat about 20. Lady Vetland sits at the head, each of you on either side. None of this opposite end shouting at each other.
Oh, good.
Kind
Pass
of
the salt.
crap.
What we tell a messenger, the messenger boy runs down on the other side to give him a telephone.
Oh, dear.
The soup's good! What?
Let's not do that.
The Vetland's house colors were green, blue, and black.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The reeds.
Makes sense.
It's very nice. The colors. Everything is so vibrant.
We're very proud of our heraldry. earned it, as we carved out a place in the wetlands that some said we would not be able to have a stronghold there. But we built, and after the first castle settled, we were able to finish the second one on top of it.
Oh. How interesting. I've never been out that. I've never been out that far, right? Or-
No. This
Okay.
is to the south, the wetlands to the
Yeah.
south.
The wetlands for the wetlands.
There's a theme there.
I've never been that far south.
Yes, the ground can be very treacherous at times, and it did nearly swallow our first home whole.
Oh dear.
But, as I said, our family persevered, and my great-grandfather finished the second Castle Vetland, and it stands tall and proud to this day.
Very glad to hear it.
It must be a delightful place to summer to. I hear a nice change of pace from the city.
Oh yes, the way the water flows into the castle below, there's rooms that are just completely submerged. It becomes a wonderful place to coolly rest out of the sun and in slightly brackish water.
As someone personally knows brackish water, ew.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a smell, but we're not gonna tell her that.
Nope. Anya has no
When
clue.
you live there,
Yes.
yeah, you go tell a swamper that their place stinks.
No. Yeah. No. Anya has no clue, so it's fine.
So you were friends with he introduced himself as Cyrus, right? Yes.
Yes.
He did.
Mhm.
He did. He did
Yeah.
introduce himself as Cyrus.
Cyrus, you said you liked entering theological discussions, yes?
Regarding Saint
She's
Bridget?
buttering a chunk of torn bread as you bring him up, and her knife kind of slows a little bit. And she looks to you and says, Yes, we have theological discussions about Saint Bridget. I assume that means you are as well of our little gathering? How serendipitous.
We were very surprised to see him there.
She puts the knife back into the butter. Yes, I was surprised to see him as well. But I do see him on a regular basis enough, as she takes a small little crumb tear from the bread that she just buttered
Oh, that's so passive aggressive.
and eats the small piece. So she's not sitting there chewing on a massive chunk. So I'm to assume that possibly this was not just happenstance. That you met your friend, Lady Esperona. I assume that is an actual acquaintance you have, yes?
Yes, that is. But to be completely honest, we were here to bring you a letter from the person that was standing next to you earlier.
As eccentric as he is, the way he goes about doing things can be unknown to us.
I understand. And she holds a hand up. A servant walks over, pours a glass of wine, pours a second smaller cup, takes it, swirls it around, drinks it, waits, nods, and then pours out glasses for you as well as she picks it up. Has a drink herself and puts it down.
I take out the letter and I put it on the table. If what's in it isn't very nice, I'm sorry.
It's not you. We are all part of this, and as I believe you are aware, When you first entered, it isn't exactly what you anticipated, is it?
Very much not.
She reaches across, holds her hand out for the letter, grabs a knife from, she actually gestures to the servant. The servant walks over, grabs one of the knives from the other place settings, and using this golden knife, she breaks the seal and opens it. She says, I haven't lived to the age of 67. Not understanding the way people act.
She looks 67. Suspicion grows!
She looks about 38.
Ah.
You'd guess if you had a very accurate eye.
Well, you look very wonderful.
Why, thank you. I do put in the effort. She drops the knife, opens it, looks about, sees that there's some lemon water nearby, takes a piece of lemon and squeezes it over the letter, and you see the text come to life again. New text arriving at the bottom.
I will say that that method is fascinating.
It is a simple technique. She starts reading over it and make awareness tests.
Yes, I was curious if now that the paper's been saturated with the lemon, we would be able to kind of see what's written on it at all.
Oh no, I succeed.
I don't.
Oh no!
Her eyes are getting a little wide. You're able to read one thing on the letter from the other side, one discernible phrase at the top. It says, I apologize.
Okay.
And you can see his signature at the bottom. She puts it down. She looks about. Panic starts to take over her countenance, looking from you, from Sable to Anya to everything at the table. She goes into her bag and pulls out what looks like an empty ampule. In it, a slightly phosphorescent blue glow clings to the inside. As she holds it and her hand shakes, she puts it down. No. I took my regimen earlier today. It was fine. It was fine. And Marcus, you're okay? The servant stands, looking confused, nods. And then you can see a vein above her eye start to swell. You can see her throat start to swell as she starts to choke.
Are you okay?
Starts screaming for a physician.
Marcus just looks around. Make a Sig needs to make an awareness test.
Oh no, that's not gonna be. Do we have a thing? I feel like
He can't hear it over the slurp.
Oh my god, that cannot. Do you want to use?
Yeah, that's what. Like,
reroll?
yeah. I kind of want to try to reroll.
Yeah.
Also, what difficulty would this be?
Standard.
Standard. Okay. I want to try to spend a point to try rerolling because I kind of want Sig to pay attention. Wait. No. Okay, I got a 93 and then a 63.
Better?
Both are still failures.
Okay.
Actually, that brings you down to 3 because everything reset. And I have to also adjust my misfortune points because somebody gave me a point, but now that you spent it, that gets me up to 2.
Damn. I totally forgot how that was spelled.
As she clutches at her
Oh.
throat, she starts clawing at her neck, and you can see the redness start to form, but then the redness gives way and starts turning black as she claws at her neck.
Can I activate witch sight?
Anya, I think she's been poisoned. There's something
Yes,
she's
you can.
choking.
Yes, you can.
I've never seen someone be poisoned, so I think it's something.
I know. That's why she. Well, it's the first thing she
You've
would
heard
think.
of it.
Well, I heard
You've
of
definitely
it, but
heard
I've
of
never
it.
seen it, and I want to make sure that.
It's not something else.
Yeah. Hold on. I succeed.
Okay. Your eyes reveal the secrets of the underlying aether to the world. The seeing both the firmament and the fundament simultaneously.
I want to make sure the letter's not fucking haunted.
The letter seems fine. She looks off, and you need to make an incantation test. Intelligence incantation.
Okay.
Normally,
Difficulty?
normally incantation's a willpower
Yeah.
test,
So it
but
makes...
this is testing your magical knowledge.
Yes.
So I'll allow an intelligence-based incantation test. So whatever ranks you have in incantation, apply those to your intelligence and roll it.
Succeed.
She has an odd aura to her. It seems as though animus and entropy are in conflict around her. As you can see over her heart, there is a mixture of energy that looks like pale fire that is dwindling. That fire looks like maybe it's animus. Maybe it's Genesis. You're not 100% sure. You've only started learning to look at these different winds and different magical concepts directly. You've theory crafted with them before, as you are a magister apprentice, but you've never personally looked, and everything just seems... It's a swirling mass of contradictions as she stands in front of you, as she clutches at her throat and pulls at her dress.
Is there anything that I would know of alchemically to help in something like this?
Yes, I will allow you to make an arduous alchemy test.
Come on, Lucrezia. You got this.
Oh, Jesus. Charcoal!
I know but one thing.
Success.
Charcoal!
Wow.
I rolled an 18.
Nothing that you know of in standard alchemy. But you have been talking to an individual who recently discovered a new way of synthesizing a fluid. As your eyes drift to that phial, that ampule on the table.
Do I think that'll help her?
No, but you're thinking you see a cause, but as your eyes are bouncing from that ampule that she was looking at with
Mortification.
betrayal in her eyes. But then confusion, and then when she looked at her wine glass, they clash to her. And she continually pulling at her dress, reaching out, gasping for air as you see the red marks become black tendrils rolling up the sides of her face, the life draining, her skin becoming ashen.
Lady Vetlin, I'm gonna run over, like, try to help as much as I...
Marcus dashes towards the kitchen. In the kitchen, the doors slam open, and a young, looks related to Messino, says, "Physician! We need a physician! We need to get a physician!" And Messino looks completely, runs over to the door, looks in. You can see the servant that took Sieg looks into the dining room, looks around, sees Lady Vetlin, shouts at Marcus, "Go! Go! Down the road!" Marcus bolts.
As soon as all that starts, like Sieg just kind of like throws his like soup to the side and like tries to get to the door
Pig's
by
feet flopping along the
Aw.
ground.
by Messino to see like what the fuck is going on in there with you guys.
You can see the Lady Vetland is, you see the effects of what's happening to her right now.
I'm looking at Marcus. Have you ever seen something like this? Do you know what...
Marcus is gone.
Oh, Marcus is gone.
Anya.
Okay.
Anya.
I look at Messino.
Messino's now in.
As sure as we are of the Exalted, I am positive there's no such thing as coincidence. We may not want to be here.
Do you know how we can help her?
He runs over and he's confused as well. He looks over. This is not supposed to be. This is no.
Messino.
No, she's fine. She's supposed to be immune to this. I don't understand.
Immune to what?
What have you done? What did you do?
Nothing.
What? He looks to the page, picks it up, and starts looking it over. You brought this?
We handed her a letter.
He throws it. You go nowhere. Guards! He shouts.
Hey, Messino, whatever is happening, we were just bringing a letter. I don't. What do you mean immune?
I will hear
Immune?
nothing of this until we are able to find out what actually happened here. Guards! And now, in attire, breastplates, these helms that kind of come to a central ridge, come down, kind of like a Spanish helm, with halberds. Two of them rush into the room. They see what's going. Messino points. No one leaves. One of them runs away. The other one slams the doors behind him and stands with halberd, not at it stance. No, he is in a ready to strike stance. As the other, you can hear his footfalls running towards the front.
Did he throw the letter within, like, reach?
Oh, it's on the table.
I was gonna grab the letter while it's still hopefully...
The letter itself, the one not the surface letter,
Yeah.
is of no consequence. Thank you for the wonderful evening.
Fruit baskets.
Hope to see you soon. I will cherish the small trinket that you offered at the end of the night. Simple, like, thanks for having me over kind of letter. The second, that ink is starting to vanish. And as you read, you're able to catch a few words. Apologies. Needs to be. Usefulness. And loose end. And the last thing that fades is Cyrus's name. And now it's just a letter saying thanks for the evening.
Is the lemon still out?
There's still a lemon out.
Just smashing, grabbing the lemon and be like, no. I didn't get to read it. Oh.
Make a skullduggery test.
I'm still on the floor with Lady Vetland, like panicking.
Make another
trying
alchemy
to-
test.
Success.
Arduous.
Yes. The skullduggery test, by the way,
Fail.
was hard. So it's negative 20.
Nope.
No, it's okay.
At this
I
point, like Sieg's just trying to like get to Anya and Sable just to like bridge the gap of distance because he's also not sure based on Messino's tone whether or not someone else is just going to come back barging in through the kitchen now. So he's just trying to get to where you guys are at the table.
Okay. He's clutching to her. See, so you're making your way to the table?
Well, yeah, you said so. Messino made his way to the table, read the letter, and then drew it back. Yeah, then Sieg is just making his way into the room towards the table.
As you make your way towards the table, the guard points his halberd at Sieg and says, "Keep your distance. Don't move."
He said, "Don't leave the room. I'm still in the room."
And I'm telling you not to move from where you stand.
That's the person you're supposed to be guarding, and whatever the fuck is happening to her, that's happening?
See,
He takes a
please
step in
listen.
your direction.
And I'm gonna go back to talking to Messino. How do I fix this? What's going on? What
You seem
what is
to know
happening?
something. If you know something about what's going on with your mistress and you're not telling us, you're possibly causing her death. Let us know what's going on.
No. She told me that she wouldn't be susceptible to anything anymore. She said she had taken care of. I don't understand. I don't understand. Well, what did you get on the alchemy test? Did you fail?
The first one I succeeded. This one I failed
This one you failed. Okay.
because it was arduous. It's fine.
Her eyes begin to sink in her skull. Her
What is
hair
happening?
begins to become brittle and white. Her mouth, the flesh in her mouth blackens, and I mean like charcoal, as she gasps once more, clutching at that place where you can see the fire coming from in the firmament, in the fundament. And her hand falls away, and that fire goes out.
I can't do anything. I can just watch it. What's going on?
That's... Is it... She, like... Sable's eyes dart around to the guard that's still looking in. Does he seem phased at all? This is not normal. This is...
He, as soon as she gasps one last time, and a rattled exhale with the last of her breath comes out of her chest, her body now looking aged to what you would expect a 67-year-old would look. Well, a 67-year-old on their deathbed who should have died 2 years ago and maybe did. He places her down, stands up. You are not leaving until we find out what happened here. And I will have you explain to me, moment by moment, what happened, so that I might know what it is that has led to the death of my lady.
Is it the wine? And because I'm still by the table, I'm gonna sniff and take a sip of the wine that she just drank from. Do I taste anything off?
Make a awareness test.
Awareness. So fucking close. Fail.
Anya, if you're looking at the wine, if it's poison, it could be delivered in other ways. It might have just taken longer.
Marcus was fine.
Exactly.
I don't feel anything weird.
Make a alchemy test.
Difficulty?
This one's standard.
Yay! Success!
As you are rolling the wine around in the goblet, in the glass in front of you, you notice that it clings to this glass a little bit more. And you start to have a little bit of a panic. Because it looks like the glass might be lined with something. Make a resolve test.
Okay. Hey, that's willpower.
What's Sid doing? Is he staying put or is he walking over?
At this point, I think at this point he's kind of had fucking enough of like everyone telling him what he can and can't do, so he's just gonna like keep making his way over to, especially after seeing you take the sip of wine. He doesn't know what the fuck this wine did. He thinks that someone just got like de-aged and vaporized, so he's gonna be like, Anya, what the fuck? And she's gonna
Assume Anya did it with magic?
No, that's not, I'm worried about this magical wine that made someone go. So he's gonna try to just like get over to Anya, being like, "What are you doing? I can't bodyguard you if you drink things that I don't know what they are."
Marcus was fine.
Oh, now he's gone. Are you okay?
You failed this, so...
Are you okay?
I'll find out in a second.
I know.
Take 7 mental peril.
It doesn't
Doesn't
hit my
break the threshold? Good. As your mind starts racking about what you just consumed, but in your moment, you realize that, well, there's 2 things on this table. There's the ampule and the strange wine glass. You feel it might be a binary situation.
Something's wrong with the glass. But I feel fine. I don't think only one thing would bother me. Did she consume anything else before this?
She mentioned a regimen.
He just she takes medicine in her
Laudanum?
quarters. No. And he points to the ampule.
What is it? What is she taking?
I'm an alchemist, and I know how to make things that are medicinal. I've never seen anything like that.
I don't know what it is. She just calls it her medications for maintaining her condition.
Might be reactive to what this was. Do you have anything, an alchemy set or something that I can look at and see while we wait if I can find out?
Not an alchemist. I don't know.
Wait, so what was her condition?
Her condition is none of your concern. Squat. Get out of my face. Stand back.
Sieg, please listen and don't cause any more trouble.
Who is her physician that prescribes this medication?
I
Maybe we could send for them. They are very familiar with what she's going through, yes?
She started taking it. Oh my.
You seem to care about her greatly. This must be a huge shock.
Make a charm test.
Silvertone?
No. Yes. Outside of your class, he is lowborn. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Success.
He looks to you. She nearly died several years ago. And Dr. Cyrus helped her recover, and she recovered with such vitality. It was as though all of all of what had been afflicting her immediately lifted. And so long as she took his medications, she was amazing. And his eyes just kind of drift to the floor.
Listen, it's almost indignant to leave her like this. We should at least cover her, don't you think?
He seems to almost now be in a bit of shock.
Okay. She looks to the guard. He is unwell. Do you want to leave your lady like this in such a disgusting state? Let us at least cover her.
You guys
let
do
us
a lot
use
of
something from the other
snappy
room.
how dare yous to people.
What? Do I?
Asking a guard, is this what you're gonna do? Like, wow, jeez.
I'm nice to Sieg, okay?
Oh yeah, okay. I don't. How am I supposed to take that? Wait a minute.
I'm nice to Sieg. I don't understand.
You're nice. You're nicer to Anya.
Well, she deserves it.
Wow. Okay.
It's charitable to the lowborn. He says Marcus will be back with the physician soon. He stands and he's eyeing Sieg. Sieg never disarmed.
A physician's not going to be able to do anything. She has long since passed.
The physician knew what to do.
I don't need to be a physician to observe common courtesies of rights for those who are left this world.
He looks to you. Drop it. This physician will be here soon.
We should wait. Maybe there's something I can do to help. They'll know more.
Sable goes a little closer to Anya. Anya, I'm not sure if you're putting this together fully, but for her doctor is Cyrus, who was just here, who knew we would be here, we probably should not be here.
Well, we can't just leave now.
So what? So whatever was in that vial, he gave something that. What did that letter say?
It was conflicting. It was. The spheres were. It was. Opposite and the same, and. There was a fire, and.
What?
Anya,
I didn't see any other people this time, I swear.
that is the best silver lining you could give me in this possibility. Thank you. But, look at this. I have no idea what you're saying. None. Do you know what she was taking at all?
It looks like what Mr. Klaus was talking about. Bad.
We have a choice that we could either try and remove the items that are incriminating to our employer, or assume that it is done so purposefully.
I think either way, someone's gonna be here. There gonna be more guards to try to question us anyway. So, are you suggesting we attempt to leave or just stay put?
Stage whispering.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
assume we're stage whispering at this point.
Especially with Anya sounding like she's going fucking nuts.
Yeah, Mr. Staple's trying to make it look like she's trying to calm Lady Anya down, like petting her hair a little bit and like staying
Crit Feral
close.
on awareness makes it so that he's not hearing the whispers.
Yes.
Good old 88.
We could possibly lean onto your family name to have you released. Consider the fact that you have this capability. If we do not wish to stay here, or we stay here, we hope that we are not incriminated, even though, well, I'm going to be very honest with you. I should not be here.
I'm not good at talking to guards.
Okay.
I
I
don't even
learned
need.
that before.
I don't even need to talk, and they don't like me.
It's an unfairness.
Your hands are too rough.
Let me try speaking to the guard one more time. Can you give me permission to
As you're
Weaponize your status.
As you're saying that, the doors open and Marcus ushers in a physician.
How's
A
Marcus looking?
gentleman. Marcus is looking pale himself.
Is he on the younger side?
He's like son.
Like early teens.
Okay.
It's obvious that he's one of Messino's kids.
Okay, alright.
He walks over. The physician who comes in is wearing a fine, well tailored black long-tailed jacket. Carries in his hand a large brief, one of those wide-bottomed doctor's bags, doctor's satchels.
The one that opens up at the top. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I had a very good visual of that.
He walks over. He seems to be a moderately aged fellow. He's not a young new doctor. He's probably seen plenty. He kneels down, and Messino actually throws an arm in the way. Looks to the physician and says, "No, you're too late. Find out what she drank." The physician holds his hand up. He says, I really should look at the body, sir. No. He throws an arm over again. I'll tend to her. He stands up and he gets an arm underneath her shoulder from behind. Other arm underneath her knees through the many, many skirts. Lifts her up and cradles her rather close. In a gesture that's a little too familiar. As he carries her away and towards the doors leading towards the stairway. He turns to the guard as he's walking past. They don't leave until we find out where this came from. He turns to Marcus. Marcus, you'll answer any of the physician's questions, and I'll leave the choice to the two of you. I need to make preparations. And he carries her out. The physician stands up with this, like...
Sir, I drank from the same wine, and I don't seem to be having any symptoms. But it did cling to the glass.
He goes over, picks up your glass, kind of spins it a little bit, and says, seems you drank the same. It seems you drank the same wine. He picks up her glass and moves it around. Yes, it does move strangely, doesn't it?
It looks like it doesn't... It shouldn't cling to the glass like that. Is it the glass itself?
Well, it does it on yours as well. But it doesn't seem to have any adverse effect on you.
No.
Excuse me.
And I am an alchemist myself, and I'm good with medicinal things, but I've never seen... I don't know what this is.
He takes a look at the table, sees the ampule, picks it up. This?
I look at Marcus.
Marcus says, that's my lady's, that is her medication. He nods for a second. Bring me the wine bottle. So, the wine bottle, everything is in front of him, and he starts just kind of pondering. Now, I'm not going to do it for you. He's gonna sit there and stare at it. So if you want to mess with this, your opportunity.
Mess with. Okay.
The elements in front of you.
Okay.
This is like this is a small like little chemical puzzle investigation thingy. What would you like to do?
Do you
Because
mind?
he's just assembled all of the pieces.
Do you mind if I help? I have my magister's papers you can look at. I'm just trying to find out what happened.
Oh. Well. Fine then. Yes. Yes. I need to contemplate about this for a moment.
You can watch. I want to like see what happens when they both mix the ampule and the wine in the glass.
Okay, so you want to take a little bit of the wine and pour it into the ampule.
Or just like I don't want to completely take up whatever is in the ampule. I want to take a small amount of that and mix it with a small amount of the wine in a separate area.
In the physician's bag, there is plenty of tools, small droppers with
chemistry.
Aged rubber bulbs at the end, and there's a few that you can just press to the end. Press your finger to the end of it to draw a small amount.
I turn to the guard. I'm sure this isn't going to be an issue.
He's kind of got an eye on everybody. His eye definitely does keep to Sieg more often, seeing as he is the most obviously armed. And you being of noble birth and Sable being well put together as well, everybody has certain dangerous assumptions about people. I say dangerous assumptions as in it can lead to just poor decision making. So his assumption is the Stenfod is a problem. And if something happens, it's going to be his fault. That kind of a glare. Even though you were the ones near the whole situation, he had no information. He just showed up, and he saw one with a sword.
Yeah, I mean, you do know that Sable technically has
it's
poison
hidden.
in her. Yeah,
It's hidden though.
yeah.
So, you go into the medical kit. You pull out a pair of droppers.
Mm-hmm.
You also find a small, like, round bulb with an open top. So what do you do with it from there?
I take the dropper with the solution from the ampule in it, and
You're able to get one of the small drops. There's like a little meniscus at the bottom with a small, barely a millimeter of fluid at the bottom of it.
Okay, so that wasn't like there wasn't a lot in it.
There wasn't a lot in it. You're able to get a small amount, but there's
Okay.
some remnants in it. It wasn't a full one, no.
Okay. And...
That's why I said it was like clinging to the sides.
Oh, okay. I wasn't
It's
sure
like surface
how...
tension is just making it on the bottom.
Yeah, the whole ampule wasn't
In
used.
order to read a measurement, look at the bottom of the meniscus.
Nerd.
I'm going to take that, put it into the bulb, and I'm going to drop some of the wine closer to the glass from a couple drops and put it in there. I want to see what happens.
From the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The blue, it's such a bright blue, it's almost luminescent. As the red wine touches it, the mixture of the two blackens and spreads out in like a jagged bend, like roots growing from a maddened seed.
Like what was going up her neck?
Mm-hmm.
I look at the
That was in her veins, though.
Yeah. Can I look at the physician? I'm gonna look at the physician. Have you ever seen this?
Never in my. What have you done?
I just mixed the medication in the wine.
This. No, he leaves what you've taken out, the stuff that has touched anything else, closes up his bag and says, "This is obviously not a realm for proper physicians. This is your kind's doing." He stands up. "I will not be party to Magister's tricks." Turns and walks out.
Hey, what? Hey,
Marcus is just kind of like,
well, what? Get the guard, aren't you?
Didn't the
No
guard
one's
say
supposed
not
to leave.
any-
Yeah.
Ah. He told the guard no one leaves. In concerns to you, the physician showed up after. The guard kind of looks flustered because he's so focused on weapon that the physician is able to just walk past him and storm out the doors. And he's and Marcus is just as confused as you are.
Hey, what's your name? Marcus? Are you a Messino's kid?
Yeah.
You live here, right?
Yes.
Okay. So like, I don't know. So Anya, what? So, you have no idea what the fuck that stuff was that she was drinking?
Make an alchemy test.
Difficulty?
Hard.
Hard, not arduous. Oh, thank God.
You're getting more information.
Who provided the wine to your lady? Do you get it locally, or was this gifted?
Marcus, I
Just fucking made it. Rolled a 38 and I needed a 38.
something was added to the wine to specifically react with whatever was in that ampule, so that no one else would be injured. And you can't taste or smell anything different about the wine. As Marcus looks about, my lady chose the vintage. She had said that we had gotten new bottles in as gifts. I do not know who they were from.
Well, did it come with any kind of like...
Letter?
No, I just retrieved the wine from the cellar, poured it into the decanter.
Who else would have access to the cellar? Is it just yourself?
The others, the rest of the staff.
There was 2 cooks in the kitchen who were tossing up some pork.
The decanter is on the table, but the bottle is still in the room.
Oh, I thought
Oh, it was
Marcus
brought.
was told to bring it. Okay.
Yeah, it was brought over with the decanter.
Okay.
Support, yeah.
I would like to look at the bottle to see if anything is different on it than anything that, I don't know, I've experienced in my noble life.
Make a scrutinize test.
It's gonna go great, guys.
Oh.
It's not a crit fail, but it is a very much a fail. It's a 95.
It's well, no, it's actually an 87.
Oh, nice year.
Chateaubriand.
It's a good year.
Wow, guys.
It is a 60-year-old bottle of wine. It's from a vineyard from an Aurelian or vineyard, actually.
Normally when you receive a gift in any kind of highborn society, you would write a thank you note, yes?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it would be stored with the bottle.
Mm.
So what is currently there is a bottle is uncorked, and it's just that if it was received and the letter was saved, maybe. But it's not like it was stored there and the letter is available to you right now. And also, anybody else can still scrutinize.
I look at
Is it still
while they're looking, I'm gonna look at Marcus. Has she drank any of this wine before?
standard?
No, yeah, it's a standard. Ask me, not her. Either of you?
No.
You still have 4 fortune in the pool, by the way, just to let you know. No, I just opened this bottle today. I got it from below. Make a charm test.
Oh, this is gonna go great. Difficulty?
Standard.
Okay. Failure.
He just continues to you can see his mind racking with what might have happened.
Marcus, it seems like your father is so greatly upset by this, taken by the mania of grief. Do you not think that maybe he should be doing things a little differently, calling marshals? He's keeping... She, drops your full fucking name. Here, against her will, do you understand? The repercussions will come back to your family.
Make a...
I'm writing down,
Jesus
literally.
Christ.
Please take a shot every time I weaponize you.
No, you just weaponize constantly. You're a guilt trip master today. Jesus Christ. Do you really think that's nice? Do you really think that's right?
Deceit.
Jesus
is her
Christ.
flaw.
Let's see here.
I'm writing notes about the way it was looking between the animus and entropy, but also perhaps
Listen, I
genesis.
can't
Hold on,
figure out the
let me see if
intelligence
guilting
side.
the fuck out of a child is a skill test here. That's outside of, because I don't feel like it's charming at all.
No.
need
It'll be
Guile?
guile. It'll be
Yeah.
guile.
Yeah, okay.
Let's see if you can get through this on guile.
It's still an 80.
Traumatized child.
Unless it's harder.
It's it is a challenging test.
A 70. Okay.
Damn.
Success. With a 4.
Jesus Christ. He looks back and forth to you, and I set the table. I poured the wine. Now she's dead because of me. I did.
We both drank it, and
But I don't know what was in it. It was a nice bottle and
It's very possible that it was just a conflict of medication. My
Hey.
lady right here is a magister. She could easily say on your behalf that it has nothing to do with what you did.
the seal wasn't even broken. It was a beautiful bottle.
Hey, Marcus.
are there any others like it?
No, that's
What?
no.
What? Seek, I told you not to cause trouble.
I mean, we were technically the ones in the room with the dead lady, so
I know,
feel...
but the guard is staring him down, and I'm just waiting for this guard to backhand you, and I don't want it to happen. So you could put your weapons away.
They have been away. He hasn't drawn them.
Yeah,
but
no,
they're
I
still
haven't drawn
on
my
him.
weapons. They're
That's
just
the
on
point.
me.
Put him down. Like,
Well,
away.
What, like, disarm himself? Like, take the time
He
to,
could.
like...
He could.
but he's not.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not like he's gonna.
Marcus, you did everything you were supposed to, right? You got the physician. You listened to your dad. Just check in on your sibling. Check in on your mom. Just let them know what's happened.
He looks up at you. I can't. My mom's dead.
Oh. I fucking had Messino ex Vetland question mark. I was like,
Do they look alike? Is there a familiar resemblance?
Shit.
Listen,
He starts to just bawl and cry.
I don't have the spell called Hat Trick to entertain children with.
I don't. He doesn't need to be entertained.
Something to distract him. He's upset, obviously. This had something to do with the medication she was taking and the wine. It didn't have anything to do with anything that he did.
Messina went away with her body. Didn't let the physician look at it. We gotta.
How is Messina going to know that whether we figured it out or not? That's what he asked us to do, yes. We
That's what he
figured
asked
it
the
out.
physician to do.
Well, the physician left, but we know what
Is
it
it?
is.
Is it something?
He's in between tears. He's just, okay. I'll go tell her. I'll go tell him that I killed my mother then.
No.
And he runs out of the room.
Did he just
And
say
the
his mother?
guards. The guard just kind of for the first time the guard is just like, what?
She like locks eye with his wet face with a similar like.
Anya's staring at the chemistry set. Like the alchemy set.
He puts the guard, now being the authority in the room, looks to the three of you. Could
Did I just hear that scandalous remark that the servant boy just called Lady Vetlin his mother?
That's what it seemed like.
I don't know.
Do we want to all agree we never heard this?
How about this? He looks around the room. There's a small drawing table, like possibly somebody for fresh air. The windows obviously are deck windows. They're doors that open out onto a patio.
Fucking French ass, like.
Mm-hmm. So obviously somebody does like some office work in this room, as there's a small drawing table off to the side. He walks over, and it's one of those desks where it's an angled front, but you can lift it up, and within is shelves and a flat desk, and then drawers below. He walks over, opens it up, pulls out 3 sheets of paper, and with puts his halberd to the side, picks up a inkwell and pen, walks over, puts the paper on one of the place settings that isn't being used, puts the quill down. We forget everything that the boy just said there, and you give me a statement, and on your house's honor, I'll let Messino decide what we do after we hear from Lord Vetland.
Oh, that got worse. Oh, that got worse. Guys, that got worse. I didn't see your face till just now. I'm so happy I looked.
Done.
Anya takes up the quill, begins scrawling away. What is the summation of what you put onto the page? Just basically a simple events. Give me a rundown.
It's going to be also that I found that it was a contradiction, I guess, between the medication and what was in the wine bottle. I'm going to leave the results of my findings in the...
Like on the paper, basically with it?
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm going to take the ampule with me.
Are you going to try and pocket it?
No, I'm actually going to try and hand it off to her. She's better at
okay. If you want... So basically you're trying to...
I'm going to put it down here, and I'm just going to look at Mistress Sable and the ampule and go back to writing.
That will be a skullduggery test if you wish to pocket the medication without the guard noticing.
Sable's like leaning over, smoothing her hands across the desk. Well, don't forget to add in that we were just talking about little details throughout the day, things that
Leans over on top of it
Yeah,
and then
it's
just
just-
kind of
yeah,
pulls.
and
I
then,
got it.
Point,
actually
good
she has a
point.
hole in her glove right about here. And as she's gonna try and smooth it into the
Slide it in there. All
Yeah.
right, all right. It is a roll off. His awareness versus your skullduggery.
guys. I want you to know it's not great.
It's
You do have fortune.
Yeah. All right, so I need a
Mhm.
52.
Much better than mine.
What? Success?
000.
Oh.
You can't even re-roll that.
Oh.
Wait, is 100 a crit as well as a 99?
100 is a
I
crit
didn't
fail.
I didn't think 100 was
No,
a crit.
100 counts as a crit fail because
Okay.
it's
Is
double
it just
zeros.
because there's double anything where there's doubles in
Okay.
it?
It's double zeros.
Yeah,
That's 100. You cannot use fortune to reroll it.
I can't.
Mm-hmm.
As you lean in, he failed, so he doesn't notice. But as you push it back in, you and those close next to you can hear as the glass breaks, and you can feel the bite on your palm as the remaining liquid starts to make its way into your veins. And that is where we are going to take our break.
It's... Oh no!
Can you give them a game where your character isn't besodden with guilt?
We return to our scene as everyone heard the click and break of the ampule inside the glove, except the completely oblivious guard. As a strange numbness starts to come over Sable's hand, you still have all the pieces in your glove, but now it's obviously released its contents into your veins.
At least there wasn't a lot of it.
Okay.
You just see Anya just like Anya's writing, and then it just like there's a scratch across the paper as she just like screeches literally to a halt and turns and looks wide-eyed.
Okay, so
And then goes back to writing.
guess you're
Also
gonna.
take
Hmm?
Oh dear Lord.
Oh, that's encouraging.
As the pain starts to spread, 18 physical peril.
Not mental peril. You know, the
Nope.
thing that I have a trait for.
Nope. This is drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Drugs make a physical peril.
I mean, it could be argued. Some drugs are mental.
I'm
Not when we're talking about toxicity and shit.
Oh, yeah.
now I'm looking at the vial I was gonna leave with the letter, and I'm just like, I'm gonna leave it so that they at least know something about what the fuck has happened, and I'm writing down like a detailed account from my perspective, but I'm not describing what I saw with witch sight.
Very good.
I am not describing the various conflicting magics I saw emanating from her body before her death.
Very good. Okay.
Yes. Things that I can explain with science. Writing down. Alchemy.
And then you leave the bauble.
Back tendril filled thing with the stopper on it. I'm gonna leave that with the letter. I'm going to sign it with my full name so they know also where to contact me if they need or require more information. I have been in trouble before. This is not the first time I've had to write my name down.
I'll wait till your mother hears about this one.
Oh, man. You want to come back to
Die.
my house tonight?
I'm just going to die myself.
Just come up with me this time.
Well,
I'm gonna get killed.
I just got
as you finish writing, he nods and he says, I'm fairly sure marshals may be in touch just to work all this out.
It's understood. I will be glad to answer any questions that they have.
That'll be between you and them.
Do you know where the doctor went?
Nope.
Oh.
And I rightly don't care right now.
So
I'm just trying to think about how I'm gonna get out of this.
Oh yeah, you heard something you really shouldn't. Well, if you ever need a job, you also know where to find me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
we free to go without any
Yeah. Yeah, he turns around, walks over to the door, opens the door, and these three can leave. And you can see down at the other end, there is a guard on the inside door as well. He looks, his brow furrows for a second, and then just opens the door, and you see a pathway to your freedom in front of you.
side is much nicer.
We take it, and as soon as we get past the guards, I'm immediately going to grab your hand and look at the glove and immediately try to, like, get it off. Get it off of you right now.
Maybe I'll keep the glove on right now, but if you were to maybe wave down a carriage and so that we may go see our good Dr. Augustus, I would not fight you on it. I think there's still some left in the vial.
I'll go get fire. As like Sieg starts just like running off once we're outside, trying to find that
Oh my god, the well-paid fucking first name basis.
Just like trying to get him.
So you rush off to go get the carriage.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the wound as much as I can.
Make a...
Asking questions. How do you feel? What's going on?
Make a heal test.
That's
Closed. Right?
That's closed, so you have no idea what's going on.
I'm looking at the wound and I'm just asking for the symptoms and mentally cataloging about this fluid. But like, maybe we can get some off the glove.
Anya, please shut the fuck up right now. Sorry. You know very well that we know exactly the person who knows about this, and it will be fine because we will go and we will talk to him, and he'll know exactly what happened and why I can't feel my arm. So,
Okay,
You actually do have a third letter you're going to.
yeah, the apothecary.
we also have 2 more days.
We also could have very possibly been set up just now as well.
We have this is a little higher on priorities.
So you have no idea what's going on with your hand. It takes Sieg a few moments to get over to the carriage stands. And he's reading reading a book.
Hey, fire. We gotta go.
Okay. All right, the lady's ready to leave then.
Yep. We're all ready to go. Need you down here. Come along.
All right. I'll meet you at the entrance. The actual road that the House of Lords and the apartments are on has wrought iron posts at the end of it to disallow carriageways, because this is a walking street.
God, I feel like we're in Florida and it's like the boardwalk.
There are people that get their carriages past it, though, obviously, for appropriate reasons. But there are some city guard standing at the posts as well. Oh. He starts writing it over, and he lets you hop in. The two of you obviously were walking over.
Yeah.
Okay. Walking over, you see the carriage, the friar's carriage, pull up, and he looks to the two of you, turns to Anya, Lady Anya. Where can I take you now?
I give him the address to where the good doctor was staying.
If we needed to see the apothecary anyway, it's up to you.
Do you think they could help her?
I don't want to trust that to the apothecary. The only person I know who would know a little bit more about it is the person who discovered it.
Okay, so we go to him then.
I want to make sure you're okay before we move forward. Never really had friends before, and I'd very much like it if you stayed alive, please.
Here
Your
she
mother
goes.
would have words about who you choose to make friends with.
There she goes using that word again.
Yeah, oh god, it's that.
Just dropping F-bombs all over the place.
Ew.
Look,
Friend, the new fuck.
Depends on how close you get.
Yeah.
Anyway,
you said you'd be good because you had a dagger. Didn't know that was gonna happen.
Friar, if you could.
yes, of course. And he holds the door open and his hand out.
Mm.
Paying before. Fine, whatever.
He's just
Yeah, you know what? That's fine as long as we can get out of here and where we
I
need
see.
to go.
hold on. If you want to make a scrutinize test,
That goes well with my perception. Critical fail.
you feel like you should. Oh, of course, you need to toss him some money. I rolled a guile test for him.
Fuck it. Hand him a silver.
He has this look of yes.
Oh my god.
And pockets it, of course, and closes the door behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Hops up into the carriage seat and hits the reins, and the carriage starts making its way down towards the switchback leading away from the royal district. As you descend, the city begins to reach up and grab at you like the long, thin fingers of the dirty poor reaching for morsels of food to fall from a plate. Find yourselves back in the city that is dirtier, yet more comforting. As you ride into the streets, making your way towards, I believe it was what he had his offices in Westgate. You have time to discuss things as you ride along.
I'm writing that on a sheet.
You could also just drop me off at the door and still pass off the letter without me. You do have Sieg. It's not like he's going to cause trouble in an apothecary's office. I'm sure they're used to the sort.
Just want to make sure you're okay.
I mean, it's like you said. If anyone's gonna know, it's gonna be Klaus. And despite his disgruntlements, if it's relating to his research, then he will absolutely give a damn about it.
He has a very good point there. I mean, I think I'll be in fine hands. And I have both ears. This is nothing.
Just don't end up like...
How's it healing up, by the way? How many days do you have left?
God, it's only been 7 days. It's only been 7 days. Yeah.
2 more weeks.
I need an entire fucking month.
Well, that's what happens when you have your ear nearly torn off.
At least there was no fingers in my ear hole.
Just don't end up... Just make sure he doesn't give you any alcohol of any kind.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
why is it wet?
Alcohol's usually corpses are moist. I don't know.
The wine. Like I don't know what that thing might react to. Just
I will let
him
know about the interaction.
You can Friar hear us?
I mean, if you
If I
slam on it,
Okay,
you're
well,
inside a carriage.
Yes, wanted to make sure. Either way, I'm gonna whisper it and I'm gonna say, she wasn't. You know how I can look at things and not see and see what normal people can't? I did that, and she was a conflict and a flames of
You said
entropy
fire
and genesis, and it's life and death and they were conflicted. She wasn't, it didn't look like she was fully alive. It was like she was run by the fire in her chest, is what it looked like.
I won't pretend to understand what you're talking about in terms of entropy and genesis, but that woman said she was 67, and for the life of me, the very beginning of that conversation, I would have laughed in her face. And then when that poison hit and took a hold of her, I believed it. But for a time, she looked young.
It was magical. What happened and I guess how she was healed, that wasn't natural.
And we know now Cyrus is the one who's administering this. Yeah, magic.
Magic.
How do they work?
With a K.
So what?
What a tribe?
So is our plan to just hand off this letter and then what? Just
Hope
meet
that-
up at the next resurrectionist meeting? We literally just saw him today. He didn't even fucking acknowledge me. Like that, he acted like he didn't know any of us.
He was playing a part, but I'd rather if he didn't sniff me anymore.
Oh, that's... Anya's right. He clearly is playing a game, and one I know very well. I wouldn't hold that against him, not without being a hypocrite. But it is something a little concerning that he would show up and then everything spiraled in such a way.
The more I'm doing for this,
Playing a game?
He is of all walks of life. Yeah? We saw him in a tavern, and well-dressed and tailored in a beautiful suit. He walks wherever he wants, and that's a freedom I enjoy as well.
you do?
You need questions? My name isn't Devin.
Yeah. I thought because you were doing some like shtick with her and like
That's fair. That is fair. I shouldn't.
I just
Yeah.
figured you may have done something wrong and needed to hide from somebody, so I didn't question it. I guess I should have.
For your own preservation, you should question people more often, Lady Anya.
Yeah, I know.
So, well, considering how much we're questioning our relationship with Cyrus, do you still think it's a good idea we even deliver that last letter? Because if we just delivered a letter and then someone died a horrific death,
It was pretty horrific.
I mean,
And the other one
well, that one
probably
would.
gonna kill me.
I don't know if I have anything to fucking say about it, but still, that doesn't mean.
Otherwise, you don't get paid, right?
Yes, but that's not the point. If one person wants to get one of us killed, the other one got killed, what the fuck's gonna happen when we deliver this fucking lemons? Can we get a lemon? Can we get a lemon?
Do you want to try and open that last letter and see if we can...
I would like you to try and open it, and then I would like to use a lemon on it.
I don't know if you need the reminder, but my hands are not feeling as dexterous in the moment. So if we could try and look in that letter after the doctor looks at me, then I would be more than happy to nose my way into the final letter before we deliver it.
Alright, so Anya, then should we just wait until we know that Sable's okay before we...
Yes.
Yeah, we have...
I could walk you through it. I mean, it's really...
We'll stay with you when we see Klaus, and we'll deliver the letter once we all know that you're not going to die some horrific death.
Well,
Speaking of which, make a toughness test.
I don't wanna. But I don't want to. It's a 32, guys.
It's fine.
It's a brawn
It's just about the
toughness
same
test.
as mine.
Yeah. Oh! I succeed!
All right, I won't be rolling any more conflict, and
By the power of I'm fine. Patron saint of... No, it's okay.
As the carriage pulls up to its destination, you can see that this is a 2-level building. The first floor seems to be some kind of like, it looks like it could be like a a bakery, a boulangerie of some kind. And then you can see a sign with a physician's placard near a set of stairs that leads up to the second floor. The stairs are not in the best condition. Shut up. No. The stairs aren't in the best condition. You would feel a lot better if they had been looked at in at least the last 10 years.
Oh my god.
Some of them bow.
Our old apartment.
Yeah, kind of like
where
those.
like it splits open in parts of it. Oh god.
Some of the boards are literally split longwise. And you can see that a lamp shines in one of the windows on the second floor. On the first floor, it seems to be closed up. Or maybe it's not in use. You're not sure. But it seems rather dead on the first floor.
Alright, so let's get you up to that second floor then.
Heading on up, skipping stairs that are rather
Keeping to the side.
precarious, standing, stepping more towards the places that have been hammered in.
Oh.
Because you can feel the step kind of bowing beneath your feet if you step towards the middle. Sieg's extra weight making the stairs kind of creak and cringe a little bit more. You're wearing a lot of gear.
Armor.
Yeah. Also, probably like solid like a goddamn brick with those stats.
Yeah, he's short and stacked.
Yeah.
You get up to the landing, and there is a small rope that leads into an opening on one side of the door, and a fogged glass, enough to let light in, but nothing really for viewing. Door in front of you.
He's gonna just like knock on the door.
Actually, I will have you roll brawn, roll coordination.
Okay.
Glass window.
Oh, come on.
This is how Riley got nerve
Ha!
damage.
22. Critical success.
The glass rattles in its frame, but he has enough control to not cause it any. The door swings open. Do you not understand that there's a ringing bell that you are supposed to pull? Oh, it's you three.
Hey, Klaus.
Delighted to see you. You're well.
I can't say the same. I had imagined that I wouldn't have to see you again, but honestly, I'm not surprised. What did he do now?
We brought you a gift.
It's not me.
We came across some of your research.
Dr. Siebold is standing there in, he's not wearing a jacket. He has a shirt with the sleeves rolled up to his elbows. Obviously in a I was out recently, but now I'm kind of around the house. He even has a just hanging around his buttons are completely undone at the neck. And you can see even it's finely stitched, as a doctor should be able to, but you can see the fine silk thread that was used to patch up the shirt. A thread that you would usually use to sew a patient back together. You use what's handy, and it kind of creates a little bit of a clash, as you know that the shirt itself is not a very fine quality. It's slightly, it looks like it needs a washing, probably. or at least it's been washed so much that it has a kind of roughness to the edges of the fabric. This has been washed many times by hand in a basin. He has a bit of a 5 o'clock shadow, and he just leans back on his hips. Fine. What have you brought me of my research? I doubt you actually have anything, seeing as I don't expect you to really understand it.
Is it blue and almost glowy and normally in vials?
You have some of the pneumocynetic fluid?
Technically, it is within us, yes.
You say within us.
Could we come in? It's just we're standing out here. These stairs. I don't know if they will be able to take.
By the
much
exalted,
longer.
get inside. He just steps back, letting you in. There is no real entry. Like it's just office, and there's a literal operating table. There's curtains, but there's no like standing room dividers. There is a table with a wash basin in the center of it that's next to this table, this steel operating table. And that's when you notice it's not actually an operating table. It's you've seen them before. It's an embalming table that he seems to be repurposing.
Okay, lovely.
There's a wash basin. There is a small stand with clean instruments on them. He is a good doctor, from what you can see. The rest of the room is bare. There are no other seats. There is there's a stool. Three-legged stool near the door, and a small end table next to it. And that's the only furniture in the rest of the room. There is no art hanging from the walls. There are 3 dim lamps hanging from the rafters overhead that you can see the underside of the roof over your head. The occasional patch of sky visible through a hole in the roof, in the shingles. Closes the door behind you, turns. I find some of the things you have said a little suspect. You said within. What happened?
Well, just watched someone die. They didn't look like they were fully. I don't know. It wasn't. They were held together by magic. It looked like.
Held together by magic.
That's not the point.
They were taking your fluid.
Pneumocynetic fluid.
Yes,
like medicine regularly.
Cyrus was giving it to them.
Emily, then
Why would you take it as a regular regimen?
I don't know, but apparently Cyrus did something to dupe her. She drank some wine, and then she just like sort of keeled over with like black veins and stuff going up her neck or something.
Your powers of description amaze me, Master Seek.
I was in the kitchen when it happened, and then I just saw what was left of her body.
Oh, I'm very happy then that I am receiving second-hand information about what happened. Were either of you there, possibly?
Yes. I think it was keeping her alive. Extending her life.
She looked very young and she was 67 normally.
How is this a present then?
Ah, right.
I tried to bring some back for you to see if it was exactly what you were doing.
You say you tried. That implies you may have failed.
Yeah, I just like shaking out some more of the glass from the glove and was like,
how did you?
maybe a little bit, but
Intravenously?
Apparently.
Glassily?
Come
It was
over
just a
here.
cut.
Shut up and sit down. And he points to the embalming table.
She's like, and she kind of.
He walks over to the wash basin and starts scrubbing his arms. He says, well, good thing for you. This does not have any life in it. It will not infect. So, I will look forward to making sure that it won't atrophy your hand completely.
Well, it seemed to do wonderful things for Lady Vetland until she had that wine. So...
Walked over. I don't know what you're talking about. It's meant to be taken orally. It is a therapeutic thing. Pneumocynetic fluid, it allows you to experience memories. It is memory made solid, or made fluid. Designed it so that maybe we might be able to treat those who suffer in bedlam. Give me your hand. Grabs your wrist rather abruptly.
According to the servants there, she was close to death until she saw Dr. Cyrus and started taking this regimen, and then...
Of course, he's involved, yes. There's no telling what he's using my discovery for, and he pulls your arm closer, reaches over, grabs tweezers, and starts digging around in the cut. It's a decent sized slash. Nothing to put you into any wounded states. But he's picking out small pieces of glass, holding it up, and there's a little bit of blue on one of them. Nah. This should not be in your blood. What have you felt? He throws the tweezers into the... He throws the piece of glass into a small kidney bowl that he has next to the tray.
A lack of feeling. It felt numb?
Numbness? Yes, You're not feeling the tweezers going
Delightful.
in. This is... I've dealt with it before. I can... You're not going to enjoy this. He gets up and he walks over to a small... Looks like a drink cart. Because it actually has some liquors on it.
Ooh.
He grabs a glass, puts it in front of him, grabs a tall bottle, clear, with a clear fluid inside, pops it open, pours it in, stoppers it, like 3 fingers worth. He then takes a juicer, a hand juicer, cuts a lemon in half, puts
Lemons.
that, squeezes it over, half a lemon.
He's got lemons.
Goes in.
It's not gonna help.
He then picks up a jigger of salt. It's like that much, like a shot glass worth of salt. Pours that into the mixture. Takes a long it's a stirring rod with a small ball at the end. He starts mixing it around.
Oh, you have a lemons. We actually could we borrow one of those? Do we have the other part of the lemon?
The lady who was ingesting the fluid.
He taps the rod at the end of it, walks over to you.
She ingested some wine that was made in a Aurelian vineyard. It clung to the glass strangely, and I tried to recreate the reaction. When the wine mixed with the fluid, it turned black and it atrophied out like branches.
I don't know I've never seen that type of reaction before. He makes eye contact with you and says, holds the glass to you in front of you.
Huh?
cheers, grabs your wrist, and then just pours the vodka, lemon juice, and salt mixture into the wound.
But
Your
my hand is
arm, it lights
No,
up
it's not.
with pain. And then he starts,
Oh, is that necessary?
it hurts. Like 11 physical peril.
Are you kidding me? That puts me at full peril. I am at stage 3.
Incapacitated.
You're not incapacitated. If you had gone to incapacitated, you would have fainted literally in that moment.
There's still time.
As he holds it, as he sees your reaction, he's like, sensation returns. Good. He releases your hand.
You're taking a little too much joy out of this.
He walks over, puts the glass back down, turns around, and says, I had to remind your senses of what they were. Pneumocytic fluid is very powerful. It should not be injected directly into the bloodstream as that.
Or
Your system needed to be reminded of pain.
Delightful.
So there's one thing there was one other thing I didn't understand.
Only one.
For some reason, their servant Massino, he insisted that a physician came in to check on Lady Vetland, kind of just insulted Anya, and then just fucking left. But for some reason, the Massino wouldn't let him see the body. He kept like blocking the physician for some fucking
That was
reason.
unnatural. Absolutely, utterly unnatural.
Well, but still, why the fuck would he not want to let a fucking physician that he was calling for check her body to see what the
See,
fuck was going on?
When she was alive, she was emanating very strange, conflicting magic.
Okay.
That wasn't natural, and he knew something.
Okay.
Also, they
It's
were
not
lovers,
something
for
that-
God's sake. He was probably beside himself.
Okay, but still, like,
It's not something.
If-
Obviously, he was hiding something.
if the guards weren't threatening to, like, attack us, I would have just...
Planning to attack you, you wouldn't put down your weapons.
I didn't take them out. They were just on my person, because they're always on my person.
Which makes you a threat. Which is what guards look for, it's their job.
Sable,
See-
you have knives, you have a dagger.
So do I.
Exactly. So that's just stereotyping
Yes!
against me.
Sieg, I don't know if you realize this, but everything about my existence is a lie so that I could take use of that stereotyping. It's horrible. It's absolutely abysmal, but it is everywhere. I am not a lady, but I get the privileges of one because I look like it.
I don't get any privileges for what I look like.
Exactly. That's why we lie about who we are. We dress ourselves up to look away.
I can't do that. I can never do that. But
I mean, we could get you a guard uniform. It might
no,
cause you less trouble.
no. So, okay, so you, Klaus, is there anything else we can do for Sable? Is she gonna be okay?
Sensation has returned to your hand.
Passionately so.
Well, he turns, walks over to the trays next to the table, next to the embalming table, picks up some gauze and starts wrapping your hand. So you're going to check in the morning if sensation still remains. If it does not return, well, I will have to go ahead and apply a second round of treatment. If you still have sensation in the morning, then you don't have to come back here, and I won't have to see you again.
You act like you don't care, but you just slipped and you mentioned that you were trying to help the people in Bedlam.
I am a physician. It's a conundrum that I wished to solve. Nothing more.
If I find more of your research, I will bring it here for you to look at.
She did try
Whether-
to.
Whether or not Dr. Cyrus is using it properly, I'm gonna find out more, and
I can assure you, whatever he does, it's not proper. There's nothing that that man does that has any form or any reason to be called proper.
I'm starting to learn that.
Can you give me the other half of that lemon?
Oh, and one of your knives. I really sharp one. Can I have that for a moment?
If you don't mind, then we'll get out of your office.
You cannot have the knife.
No, not to have it. I just need to borrow it for a moment. So sharp. So small. It's perfect. Otherwise, I have to use this. She like slaps her titties, I realize.
You should get in the habit of explaining whatever the fuck you plan on doing before demanding things of people.
The reason we even... Okay, so we met this Lady Vetlin because Cyrus gave us more letters.
I don't think he needs to know that. What are you gonna do with the lemon seek?
I want to... We were talking about answering questions, and I want to just read this fucking letter with the special lemon juice for his fucking messages before we just give some other incriminating thing to someone or whatever.
Dr. Cyrus is using a type of ink that is invisible unless applied with some sort of acid.
Make alchemy tests. Anybody can attempt this.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
It is arduous if you do not have the alchemy skill.
I do not.
It's standard if you
It's
have it.
basically a 1 in 100.
Crit success.
Crit success.
Fail.
You rolled an 11.
Okay. You understand that this is a type of ink that, as you said, it does use an acid to darken. But this specific one seemed, from what you saw it being used before, it deteriorates once revealed.
You're not gonna get the proper message across. The ink deteriorates after it's read. It's only meant for one use. You look at it now, we're not going to be able to give full message across to the person at the apothecary that we're supposed to meet. And as much as the messages have cost someone a life and have someone threaten my life, if it's something that's needed for the people are needed for the next meeting.
We can still tell them that. Right?
I will say this. As much as I loathe that man, Dr. Obadiah Cyrus does have insight beyond what I would consider. It makes me uncomfortable. He does dabble in many things. So what he uses my discovery for, I don't know. Maybe he sees a use for it. More than likely he does see a use for it beyond what I had intended. So when he says he has a grand unveiling to do at the next meeting of the Resurrectionists, whatever he says he will be unveiling at the next gathering of the Resurrectionists will truly be something to behold. And I hate that man. But I will admit that he has his ways of making advancements.
Let's get the final message to the apothecary and be done with this.
Only return if you have no sensation in the next morning. Other than that, I don't want to see you unless you are bleeding out.
Understood. Hopefully it won't come to that.
Good. I wish not to see you. Good day. And he gestures towards the door as it is starting to get late.
I want to be nice to him, but
I wrote little heart notes next to our Sundari doctor.
I know.
He's so Sundari.
He stands with his hand gesturing to the door, ushering you out.
I nod towards him. Thank you very much for your help, and Hopefully we won't have to bother you again.
He smiles and just does a small little breath as he re-gestures towards the door.
Sig starts walking out. It's like, here to use the other half of the lemon to pour yourself a drink, I guess. Job well done.
I could have used a drink, she says as she's making her way to the door.
There's a bar down the street as he closes the door behind you. There are several! As he walks away from the door.
God, I love his piece of shit self.
Did we learn where we knew the apothecary
The
was,
Court
or
of
did we?
Miracles.
Court of Miracles.
Oh, by the Court of Miracles.
Yes.
Okay.
It is it's a more well-to-do section off of the Westgate Merchants area. It tends to be where many physicians, and there is oh no, wait, I'm sorry, it wasn't near the Merchants area. Well, it's halfway between the Merchants area and the academies. The Academy of Magic being in that area as well.
Right,
The Academy of
Magisters.
Magisters. The Academy of Medicines is there as well. The Court of Miracles is nearby there and serves the physicians and the magisters in equal parts, hence why it's called the Court of Miracles. It's a large square that rubs up against the merchants area of Westgate and the Academy in the city.
What do you want to do, Mistress Sable? Do you just want to? I think out of any of us, you deserve to take it easy tonight.
We should get this done with, and then we will retire and have that set drink.
Tomorrow we might be able to go and sell some things.
Ah, I would love more than anything to do that. So we need to survive this night, get this done with, and then tomorrow we will go shopping.
I promise to be nicer when testing to see if you have healing tomorrow.
It is starting to get dark.
Oh.
I will point that out.
Both. I suppose we shouldn't be slinking around in the darkness.
We
The
can
amount
Your
of-
mother
always-
wouldn't.
We can always go tomorrow and then hit the merchants after. Since we'll be that way.
I don't know if we would go to the merchant for. Oh, yeah, we probably have to. Yep. Okay.
So where are you heading for your night?
If you don't want to deal with your mother tonight, you can go to one of my apartments. Probably have one somewhere closer than going all the way to the foreign
You
quarter.
have one
again.
in the Westgate.
Yeah, of course they do. It's not as lavish as yours, but also your mom wouldn't be there. I don't think.
Let's hope not. Let's go there.
Exactly. You're welcome to come too.
It beats being in my place for another night, I guess.
She's gonna kill me.
Oh, I know you hired me as your bodyguard, but can you please stop acquiring a list of people that are probably trying to kill you?
I don't mean to.
I think for every death threat you get, you should increase his pay, right? Because the stakes are now
He won't be able
higher.
to stop my mother if she decides she wants to, so you don't have to worry about that.
Try to get you some more cash, my friend.
There is a small square nearby. Off of that square is one of the apartments that is attached to a business where Sable has her apartments. You wouldn't have to take a carriage to get there. It's all of maybe 15 minutes away by foot.
Sorry, you won't be able to see Friar again.
Well, no, you could send him away and say, meet me back here tomorrow. That is an option if you wish to continue to contract him. He waits by by the carriage.
I'm sure he'd be happy to oblige. Friar?
He already down next to the carriage with the door open with his hand out.
Oh my god.
We're not going to need you any further tonight, but we do have to go somewhere tomorrow.
I may be of service to you.
So around whatever, say, late morning. Join us. We can meet
Address.
The square.
the square. If you can meet us at the square?
Westgate Square, just nearby?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I can meet you there tomorrow in the morning.
That would be greatly appreciated. But we're not going anywhere.
Oh, well, I do need to put the horse up for the night, and, well, you're going to require me in the morning. Think of it as a reservation.
Okay. I failed the other thing before.
Yeah,
So,
crit
fail.
was that was a crit
That
fail,
was a crit
too,
fail,
yeah.
So I'm gonna use another silver.
Just
You are
can see,
most
like,
gracious, madam, and he puts it away.
a
Enjoy
lot of
your
erasing.
evening. Hops up in and carriage and rides away.
Did you ever wonder about changing your profession to being a cabbie?
If I like put on his clothes and just learn
Steal
how
his
to
horses?
drive that carriage.
All that's stopping you from a silver a day.
We're gonna walk towards the square.
Yeah.
Sable leads the way. You get to the square, and then Sable leads you away from the square, down kind of a tight alley. And there's several doors you're noticing, and you notice that, well, make awareness tests, the two of you. You know about them, so you're definitely going to see them.
Of
I
what
succeed.
Yes.
Standard?
Standard. Unless I say otherwise, it's standard.
Ooh, I also succeed.
Both of you start noticing that the lamps outside the doors have red wax paper around the lamps.
Do I know what that means?
Sig knows. You notice it's odd. You're not used to this tradition. It's strange. Might be something to ask about.
Why is there red on the lanterns? I mean, you can't. It's not the best for seeing.
Oh, Anya, that it's not about seeing for those.
But what's the other point of a lantern?
Oh no,
Do
you
you
got this.
we're going to your apartment.
Just keeps walking.
No, Sig, you've got this.
Okay.
Your employer's
There's so
asked you a
many.
question.
There's at least 6
Just
on this
shaking
in this
her hand
alley.
out.
I'm hoping that I, out of character, know what my in-character character is supposed to... Okay.
Sex.
Yeah,
See?
okay, yeah. Okay. I was just making fucking sure, because I didn't want to say something else stupid.
I know, Anya does.
Okay.
The man in the
Yeah, I
canoe
know.
moment.
Yeah. Okay, so... Have you ever had a night out drinking, and
Delicious.
then go home with a pretty girl or guy? Just want to lay down somewhere together for a special evening?
No.
I imagine they come
Did
to
that-
her.
Did
Sig.
that fancy magister school of yours teach you about
Magic, yes.
Oh, no, I mean a very specific kind of magic.
Red would mean rubedo, but I don't think that's what.
Well, there might be some red if it's their first time, but
I'm so proud of you.
look,
What the fuck?
sex.
Sig, as you push the door.
As Anya finds out about the red light district
Oh.
in the most inappropriate way possible. Ladies of the night.
That was beautiful.
Mr. Sable brings you to one such establishment.
Oh, Mother would kill me if she found out I was.
There
here.
is a
Now you know she's not
five.
gonna look for you here.
There is a 5-petaled flower on a large. Well, it looks like it's been carved to look like a cushion. you find yourselves outside the establishment known as the Primrose Pillow.
My ribs hurt so bad right now. Are you writing that down?
I am.
There's a small gap.
I also wrote apartment in quotations.
That's fine.
There's a small gap about shoulders width in between the Primrose Pillow's main facility and the neighboring building, another we'll call them a competitor establishment. That is a leaf sitting on a bowl, and it is called it's known as the falling leaf. Is the one next door. In between the Primrose Pillow and the fallen leaf is a small alley that leads to a door in the back of the Primrose Pillow. That is Sable's apartment in this area of Westgate.
Oh, she knows everything.
Taking your key, you open your door leading in, and it's not palatial. It's tavern chic.
You have to understand, normally I would go to their apartments, not bring them home with me, so.
There are very nice fabrics for all the drapes. The pillows seem to be a very soft, almost terry cloth-like fabric. The sheets are a fine, high thread count linen. Hey, you got access. Yeah. I know it's quite expensive. Considering, though.
Take it you have separate rooms that we could occupy?
Do I look like a tavern?
It's one room, one bed. There's a stool, there's a table, and a small pantry.
There's pillows?
It's a small apartment on the back of a whorehouse. It's cheap, and you can.
And it's one of many.
And you can dress it up as you wish. The one glorious amenity is that by the pantry there is, and this is amazing, a wall-affixed water pump. So she's got well access in the apartment. There's no toilet, but there's water access in the apartment.
It's a nice place.
Thank you. Yes, I had a few in the other directions, but this was closest, and honestly, your mother would never think to look for you over here, so you could...
We pass anyone on the street, she knows.
Well, do you think she is the type of friends who would be acquainted with this area?
I don't doubt where my mother has friends, and I don't try to guess.
Well, then she can't judge us. And as she's making her way into the house, she just starts slowly, like, dropping bits of glove, jewelry, making herself comfortable in bloomers and corset.
So he's just gonna, like, try to, like...
There isn't much place you can go. It's been just basically turned to the wall.
Yeah.
Just
So
kind
he's
of
just gonna
observe.
like turn to the wall, just to
Pick at the plaster a little bit.
He's gonna start like taking off his boots and nothing else.
Oh my god!
Boots and his gear, but nothing more. As he's looking at the wall.
Sig, if you're this uptight, you should go next door first.
Do I get a discount?
What exactly do you think is my profession, Zeke?
Landlord.
She like slowly. Good answer.
Can I get this?
You are like the scum of the earth.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
God, it's so good.
Oh. Oh, that is an amazing inquiry right there.
Look, I don't have a lot of money, so I mean, wouldn't normally spend my time like this. I mean, I do have some gold now from thanks to Cyrus, but I'd rather spend it on a few nicer things from my apartment. You know, checking in on my family and that kind of thing. And what about you, Anya?
Huh? I'm not going over there.
Okay, then we'll.
Are you all going to stand in my apartment staring at the walls like truant children?
Do you have any extra dress clothes? Or night clothes?
Night shifts,
Yeah.
yes. Absolutely, and she's gonna go off and stare.
Stay closer to the wall.
Kind of like goes into the corner, like his shoulders
He's just
are
gonna
like
Blair Witch into the corner.
yeah, he's there on the side, but he is on the side closer to the
turn around, go stand and stare into the corner right now.
No, I can do that, can't I?
There you go. So he's tight in. His shoulders are literally touching the corners of the wall.
Basically, yeah.
Just like
his broad shoulders.
I just don't want to offend anybody. As yeah, obviously you have
She pulls out
night
one.
clothes for
All her night clothes, if she's going to wear them, is worn for show, for dalliances. So she pulls out one of the fine negligees and she's like, "You go, lady. It's actually very expensive. It came from Lord," and the blah, 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 random Lord she's had a
I'm
dalliance
gonna
with.
hold it up. There's no clothing on this.
Oh no, it's an exceptionally fine fabric. If you feel how soft.
It's see-through.
Well, you're not walking on the streets in it, are you?
This is just an audio drama for Sieg right now.
Okay.
There's lace in the appropriate locations.
Yes.
It's very expensive. I thought it would make you feel more at home. It's probably worth more than my apartment. I get very frequently I'm given gifts that are not as useful as you would like. But in this case, now you have a beautiful nightgown.
like making sure he's facing the corner.
Sig's in the corner.
Just for night.
But also still doing like this.
Yes, the entire time, just like.
So, you dress for night. There's enough room on your bed for two, obviously. It's been used that way before.
Two. I don't want to think about it.
It's actually a feather mattress. So it's soft.
No.
Well, friends are supposed to have sleepovers, right?
Is he gonna sleep staring at the wall, or?
I mean, unless Anya or someone tells him that it's okay to turn around, he's just going to keep looking at the wall, sort of just slumped his head, just sort of like...
You're not turning around until I'm fully under the covers.
Oh my goodness. Do you want me to sell you into a sack?
You said you got like pillows or something?
The pillow? I haven't adhered to the tradition in a while, but we could have you sleep in the pillowcase, yes. If you are so inclined to be as prude as that.
I'm underneath the blankets fully with my head. I'm fine, just... Let's go to bed. Let's just... Can we go to bed now, please?
I'll take whatever amenities you can provide, seeing as you two have your claim in the bed.
Yes!
I'm just imagining if anybody's ever seen the original Blues Brothers, the Elwood sleeping on a frickin' chair in the room. I'll get a screen grab of it so you guys can see what I'm talking about later.
Oh my god, we need a picture of you holding the blanket up to your nose later before you take your wig off, and it's like...
As awkward of a night that it is, with Sieg either sleeping on the chair with like the pillow under his shoulder like this, with like a spare blanket up to his chest, or literally just on the floor, you can comfortably share the bed together. This is a safe place. You are able to rest and recover all peril.
It's good to be home in one of them.
Also, remember, a day.
Another day, my tally grows.
Only bed rest actually gets you the double day.
Oh, does this count as bed rest?
No.
No. I'm in my bed.
You're going out and about.
You have an atrophied arm.
Oh,
No, it's the ear that I'm still trying to mend.
I
The
know.
arm
like
somehow is fine.
21, like 2021. Like lived entirely sheltered life. The only thing other besides home was an academy, and then
Dorm living.
Dorm life.
Dorm life.
my dorm had 3 rooms.
Yeah, you had a private apartment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically.
You wake up the next morning, and after some awkward freshening up, it is an amenity though to have the basin right there.
Yes, absolutely.
Sieg, already dressed, basically can throw his boots on and wait outside in the early morning as Anya and Sable dress for the day. Sable having a selection, Anya just putting her dress back on. But you were able to at least, splash some water on. There's probably some eau de fleur that you have, some bottles, some oils,
She's taking the
freshen up.
time to stab it in the multitude of ornate hat pins as she's pulling her long black hair back up and stabbing a little bit of the rose water.
How is this not orange blossom?
The real weird question is, do you normally smell like orange blossom, or is that what he thinks you would smell
I
like?
just picked a floral scent that a noble lady would put on her
It's
hand.
true, actually. That would be very...
Orange.
Also, I was
It doesn't
in my
smell like
mind
oranges.
also might have been like oranges.
Orange.
Yeah, probably because I'm wearing fucking orange.
Mm.
Yeah.
An autumnal color. It's a good color.
Yeah, we're in the season of autumn, whatever, which is my season of birth. So
There
my
you go.
birthday, I guess.
Summertime.
And it is autumn.
Yes.
I'm handing it back to Rosewater. I'm done.
Shortly after that, you're able to open the door, and awkward ass Sieg is standing there.
The funny part is, standing outside that entire time, you probably had more propositions in the street than you would have if you had stayed inside.
It's early morning. Pretty much everybody's still. Everyone's still recovering from the night before. You do see a few. Well, actually, you know what? Make an awareness test as you're standing outside.
I succeed.
You do see a few bashful-looking official types that are rather well-to-do, kind of exiting and adjusting themselves to look as presentable as possible, but also cover their shame at the same time as they make their way and leave. You even see a ecclesiastical member here or there.
Someone stole a stocking.
No, not Anya's dad.
Oh, mother would kill him.
I mean, he's of the profile of clientele.
You are able to come together and make your way to the square. So you have a few things you can discuss in the time along the walk. I will be right back.
I assume I can feel my hand.
Toughness test.
Fail.
We will use.
Oh,
I'm
fortune.
okay with you
yeah, we
rerolling.
will.
Succeed.
You can feel your hand.
So,
As you walk and discuss, I will be right back. I need to use the restroom.
how's your,
Make a toughness test!
how's your hand feeling today, Sable?
Seems fine enough. I shouldn't need to be doused in alcohol. Not for medical reasons, anyway.
So you can feel it? You got...
Yeah, no, it should be fine.
I don't need to, like, hit you to prove that you feel
I
pain.
assure you that if you hit me, I will strike you back.
I mean, that'd be fair. I just want to make sure that you're
No,
being
I-
truthful and not trying to just uphold some sort of presentation. Just saying. You told me to ask questions.
Did I do as such?
Yeah, you told me to question things and people.
Ah,
No, you told me to.
yes, I did. With that said, if I'm so open as to allow you into my apartment, I don't suppose I would feel the need to lie to you about something as simple as my hands.
So the goal of today is to go to the Court of Miracles, find the apothecary, give them the letter, and then, if they haven't tried to kill us, go shopping.
Why don't we just hire a small little child in the street, watch them, send them in with the letter to give to the apothecary?
We were told to make sure that they would come.
Well, we know for a fact one won't be coming now.
Pretty sure Cyrus knows that as well.
But they could just lie to us. The captain of the guard, yes, he said he'll go, but he could just lie. We're not walking them in, so how sure are we that we're able to even promise this?
Well, he did say that no one has any titles there, and to make sure I washed my back, so I have a feeling he's gonna be there. I'm very aware of that.
You have to be more delicate with men's egos, Anya.
I didn't know I was. Just thought we were playing a game.
Not all games have no stakes. The stakes were not just the gold, it was the interaction, it was how you'll be remembered.
I mean, well, I do try to think that being remembered for good things and good reasons is important. He was also a complete fucking asshole to me and to Anya. So, I don't weigh his opinion very highly, besides the fact that he's concerned about trying to possibly kill you. So,
You could just be posturing in truth. He has the
which
same
would be
face.
great, which would be the best case scenario. We got all of his money and he's just not gonna do shit to us.
Also, consider you can use, well, for now anyway, the leverage that you are an instrument of Obadiah Cyrus, and if he were to strike at your person, he knows very well that that would not lay well with a bunch of different people. Learn to use.
I do have a spell that'll make it harder to strike me.
Before you have to get to conflict, there are ways you could avoid the conflict altogether. You have armor that is in the station, in your birth, in your blood, and in your associations, who you are with. Use every advantage you have in this life.
I tried using my armor and we got someone killed.
We did not get anybody killed.
She died right in front of us. Sable.
Tell us that she may have been dead for much longer. That was not. People die all the time, and you do not feel guilty for them, do you? You did not poison the woman. Truthfully, we are associated with a man of questionable means for moving people. In truth, the entire reason why I've been pushing so much to get information, like when we met the doctors, because I know the entire reason why he's even able to command me as he does is because he's blackmailed me as well. Now, I won't lie, I am intrigued by what the things he wants to do. But the only reason why he was able to get me to work with you guys in the first place is because he was going to turn me into the marshals if I didn't.
If he asked again, would you want to?
I wouldn't mind getting a drink with you guys.
I will say I'm not very keen on helping Mr. Cyrus again after this.
It does not feel good to be moved by a man so passionate in his dream that I don't think he really bats an eye at who he knocks over in the process. I've known people like that. It's dangerous to be close to them.
I've served under people who have done questionable things, and to be in the service of another one, it makes me uncomfortable. I'd rather, as much as I believe in our cause, I don't believe in the ways very well of, like you said, his methods. Since apparently he's just been. Anyone that's come across him apparently has had misfortune.
I mean, there's something to be said. If somebody is able to have so many people in his thrall, then it is better to be his friend than his enemy, yeah? And we do have the common interest. There is something there, but we need to be careful. We need to protect ourselves because
I want to ask, but also I don't want to ask about what he's holding against you. But if there's anything I can help with, you'll let me know, right?
I mean, you know I am not an actual lady, but anybody else that we come across in high society does not know that, because as far as most know, I am a litany of ladies across this entire city under various names and monikers, and
So just, if we're together, we meet anybody, just let me know what name to address you as. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Thank you.
I don't have Anya's birthright, her title, her wealth. I don't have any of those things, but you said it's better to have Cyrus as a friend than an enemy, but that man's not my friend. You two are my friends. And you may say that you're not a lady, Sable, but to me, you are a lady. And for whatever you seem or deem that to be worth, hope that's enough for something that I can.
Then we all agree? We will protect each other. If we pursue what we will, there's no denying that there's things that intrigue us all in this, but we have to agree we will look after each other above it all. Yes?
You guys are the first friends that I've had, and like I said, I'd very much prefer if you stayed alive.
You have to get more used to my apartment then.
I don't want to.
It's better than my apartment, trust me.
At this point, you've made it to his apartment.
That's cute.
Oh yeah, it's not.
It's a good word. It's a good word for a bed in a pantry.
Oh.
You have made it to the square at this point, and as you stand there discussing, you notice a familiar carriage pulls up, and Friar hops down. He's wearing a new hat.
Oh, he's already
He
retail therapy.
doffs it to you, walks over, opens up the carriage door, and holds out his hand. Where may I take you today?
Can I make another test?
Yeah.
Okay. You said it was scrutinized?
Yeah, it's a scrutinized test.
Critical success. It's a 22.
Oh, he's been taking you for a ride.
And not just
And I'm not talking about the fact that you've been taking the carriage for rides to different locations. No. He definitely got what you can assume to be about a week's worth of carriage rides, at least in the high-end sections of the city.
I take his hand with mine and use it to get up into the carriage.
He pulls it away from Sieg.
He just gets up on the carriage anyway.
Holds it out to Sable with a look of, dear God, please.
Takes his hand and winks.
Ushers you in, closes the door. As he closes the door on what he feels to have been his easy money, climbs up into the seat. You have me contracted for the next 2 days. Where do you wish to go?
You're paying for his grandma's surgery.
I know what that
She makes his clothes by hand.
How did you come up with this backstory for someone you just... I got the reference.
Thank you.
I got the reference.
He's so he asks where you wish to go.
Ah!
Oh, sorry. 10 gift subs out of nowhere.
Santa Klug.
Santa Klug.
Jesus.
We're going to the Court of Miracles, Friar.
Use the horns, by the way, if you just got them.
Yeah, there should be some new ass fucking horns in there.
You got some new emotes to use, guys. Use them. They're good.
If I don't see a few mows at the moon, I'll be upset.
Mao at the
All right.
moon? I'm a Mao at the moon.
So, he hears Court of Miracles, and nods, snaps the reins, and his horses start pulling the carriage along.
I've given him a lot of money, haven't I?
Yes. Yeah, for a single day's worth of carriage rides. Yes.
If I do that again, can you please stop me?
Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Thank you. How much is appropriate to tip? And that's
Oh.
As the carriage rides into the distance, it takes about a half an hour to get to the Court of Miracles, and this is a decent area. It is not your individuals leaning up against the walls. There aren't many beggars here. The city guard tends to keep them moving along. You even spot the occasional marshal walking about. Marshals, having been drawn from different walks of life for their own skills, you do know that there are some who are you actually had an adjunct professor who was a marshal at one time. So a marshal walking amongst the Court of Miracles is not unheard of either. You can tell them apart by they usually wear their shoulder pauldron that signifies rank has the paladin's symbol on it, and they also wear an ornate chain that has a exalted cross dedicated to the paladin hanging from their waist. And it's a chunky chain. It's a chain signifying the chain of service that binds them to their duty. So, you are dropped off. Nearby, you can see the several locations. You can see some that... Now, here's the one odd thing. There are established buildings that are a place to purchase herbs. An herbalist's shop. There is a shop for... It looks almost like a butcher's shop, but it is known as an exotics. They have, hanging in their window, they have the carcasses of several different beasts. The most unique of them, hanging horizontally across, is a stuffed water panther. Basically a slightly fur-lined alligator. That was originally what they were called.
I'm really
That's what Europeans
disappointed.
called them when they saw them in Florida. They called them water panthers.
I wanted it to be more cat, but like...
I know.
Have I been through here before since it's by the
You've
academy?
you've been through here. You've seen it. There's the beef fizzery nearby.
100
We are not
viewers.
100 at 100 viewers.
nice-
There will be no beef fizz until we hit that number.
Hit the number with a screenshot in Discord.
Yeah. So all right. So if we hit 100 viewers, please screenshot it, and then we'll
We'll post it in
Definitive
Discord,
proof.
and then
we'll
I'll
drink
get
the
to make
beef
it.
fizz.
So, by the way, we're still doing our giveaway in about 20 minutes or so. So that's the exotics. Exotic butchery. Obviously, they cater to not just consumption, but also they cater to requirements and reagents. Rare. There are several reagents, just stone cutters. There are mineralists that have mortars of powders just outside of their stall of many colors. There is the curiosity that you find, though, is that this area also has some traveling, walking about individuals with basically mobile stalls with a leather wrap around their neck, holding on to a tray of curiosities and curios and some claiming relics that they have of the knuckle bone of saints, you know, offering a lock of hair of different holy individuals also walk amongst the shop corners, hoping that maybe somebody would be curious enough to give their wares a try. And the likelihood that occasionally, at least Anya knows, occasionally these people tend to have mostly crap. But sometimes they actually come into the possession of something worthwhile. But in this area, they are known as more for their information than they are for anything else. They rub shoulders with mages constantly. Magisters, I should say. I keep calling them mages. It's magisters. You can see that the apothecary that you look to meet is on a small side street off the main square, the main court, which in the center of this court is a statue of the founder of the Academy of Magisters. A tall individual of elven descent who brought magics and understanding to those who wish to learn. And he's only known as the Unifier. Unifying those who would use the art of kenning, which is a formal term for magics, under a safe practice, rather than the disparate hedge witcheries that used to pop up here and there, and blights and plagues would happen when things would go awry, and terrible things would happen when those who used their powers without proper knowledge. This individual unified them.
Line of Kaita or Shandoane? Or is that the silly question with the title Unifier?
Make folklore tests.
Sable's gonna ask Anya as they're walking, because she's always had this passing interest in...
Critical success.
Critical failure.
I went to school.
I
About
did not.
Yeah. It's, he's wearing trappings of both. Shandoane and Lanavkaita. You can see that his belt is made of hartshorn. Hart being a type of deer. And but he also wears a they're known as Selkie. It is a Selkie cloak that is worn by many of the honored shipwrights of Shanduan culture. The Hartshorn being a representative of a hunter of the land of Kaita. The elements of both land and sea on this person. Not many people pick that up when they look at it.
I'm gonna point out the two different ones. The belt is made of hartshorn, which is worn by hunters in the land of Kaita society, and then the cloak is the selkie worn by the shipwrights of the Shanduang. So it could be either.
It's interesting to see the two together without.
Well, he is called the Unifier, so I guess it makes sense.
Could have got a better sculptor for it.
It's very nice.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen better.
Listen, just because you didn't make it doesn't mean it's bad.
Can you make sculptures?
I mean, I could pick that away and make like some little sculpture that might look better, but I don't think you'd want me to do that.
Wait,
No.
so if we were to actually buy you something, could you make like trinkets and the like?
No, I mine things, or I used to mine things. I'm not
okay.
actually a sculptor. I'm just saying, from my homeland, I've seen much.
So your backup is still to be a cabbie.
Look, we weren't going to talk about that in front of Anya, but yes.
You find the apothecaries, you know the sign by its mortar pestle, and it has several herbs kind of sticking out of the sign itself, and on the outside, on the letter on the back where it said the apothecary's name, there's also the that sign was also a crude drawing of it was added. I did not appropriately write down the name of said apothecary.
Delia Kern.
Delia Kern.
The person.
Another
I
Delia.
don't think we know the name of the actual
Delia was
apothecary
an
shop.
alchemist.
But if the shops all have the name, then
True.
Internal reference, yes.
Oh.
The current apothecary stands before you. It's square, blocked, thick glass, warped, not clear, exterior. It sits before you with a recessed door to the left of the storefront.
Does it look open?
No, it's
A reasonable hour, I imagine
a reasonable hour, but the door is closed.
Sig's just gonna look very closely around the door to see if there's a bell on it.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh.
make an awareness test.
Oh.
Fail.
You can't see it. You don't think there's one around.
Sig's gonna wait for someone else to knock.
Is it normal to knock, or could you just walk in?
If it's during store hours and it's unlocked, maybe you could just go in.
Maybe. Alright.
You could just go in.
Okay. Then
I was thinking that if it's locked or unlocked.
I'm gonna test the door to see if it's unlocked.
The latch gives way.
I'm gonna turn, smile, and just open the door the rest of the way and walk in.
The bell attached to the coiled spring on top of the door jingles as you make your way in. And as you're just hit with the earthy, floral, and almost, you can smell incense. You can smell herb You can smell flour. You can smell what smells like freshly dug dirt. There's a slight metallic tang to the end of the smell with every breath. As you look around and you can see 45-degree angle, almost like a produce stand, kind of rows. There's 3 of them. On either side, a 45-degree walls create little boxes. And each box is filled with different materials. We are talking, like I said, herbs. There are minerals, just piles of dust and, or not dusts, but powdered minerals. You see bits of stone, like shavings. In some, you see entire baskets filled with heady frankincense, and others of just incense, and you even see Anya's seen this before. Sable sees the largest pile of saffron she has ever seen in her life. It's a mound of saffron. You've seen it in pinches and in small vials. There's a pile of saffron on this table.
Does it look like there's anybody in here with us?
There's a counter along the back wall with a flip-up extension. Behind that, a door. From behind in the back, from that opening, it was a doorway, not a door itself. You hear, "I'll be out in 1 moment!"
While we are here, we could probably pick up some laudanum, or,
What was I'm actually looking for the stuff to make
Yeah.
laudanum, okay?
Yeah, I was
do
like,
this.
just saying, while we're here.
I'm trying to find it. Hold on. I found it.
Poppy. Opium seed pods. You're looking for poppy.
Okay.
Is that, alright, so like, one's for physical, one's for mental, right?
Smelling salts are for peril.
Yeah, I have one more thing of smelling salts, but I could always...
And opium seed pods are used to create laudanum and tincture.
Opium seed pod. Yes, for both. Can't do toxins and antivenoms yet, because those are different focus, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. Okay, so I need a additional Epsom. I just need a lot of heckin' Epsom salts. Okay, so I'm gonna go around and see if I can find those.
You find it looks like a table of dried onions. They're like this big. They're little bulbs. They look like a dry, or almost like if you took a garlic and an onion and mashed them together.
I've seen the little miniature onions with the stalks type things.
Yeah, but these are opium pods. When cut into them, they release the tears of the poppy, which is what is used to create.
Do I know how much I'd be able to make based off of how many pods I buy?
Yeah, you can basically use it by dosage. How many dosages you're looking to make. Look up the formulas for that in the crafting section.
I'm in the hazards and healing.
Yeah, it should be in hazards and healing for crafting that stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, they are little bulbs.
There's
There's also a small table of fragrant. It's literally Epsom salt and lavender right next to each other.
Oh man.
Yeah. So in order to prepare laudanum, a preparer must have a skill rank in alchemy, access to a lab, a seed pod of opium, which is expended as part of the preparation, be left uninterrupted for at least 1d10 plus 1 hours. You prepare the number of drops you intended to make. A critical success gives you an additional crit failure, and regular failure result in the ingredients being expended without success. Critical failure also causes you to suffer 2d10 plus 2 physical peril. While it explodes in my face.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
We're
So
just
don't
gonna
fuck it
find
up.
you high on the floor.
Pretty much. If I crit fail. Okay.
So how many would you be looking to purchase seed pods of opium?
Okay, so the more
'Cause there are
up to-
small-
you can make up to 3 at one time.
From one pod.
Yes.
So you can next to each of them, there's also, by the way, there's also a honey pots or royal water available. There are small signs next to each.
To create royal water, you need a vial of saltpeter.
Basically anything on, let's see here, it's in trappings. It's not going to be the same page though. The apothecary's cabinet. Here we go. Epsom salts take smelling salt. You need Epsom salt to make smelling salt. Opium can be used to make laudanum, surgery, tinctures, and treat injuries. To make quicksilver.
Being able to
You can buy ampules of quicksilver. Basically,
save
it's
off stuff mid battle
Okay.
would probably be handy.
opium is 1 gold per pod. Quicksilver is 1 gold per ampule. A honey pot is 3 silver for a 9-dose pot.
To make bandages.
That's used to sterilize bandages.
But I can't use heal tests, which you required for bandage use.
Yeah, so we're looking probably more for like the smelling salts and right.
Mm-hmm.
It's 4 gold to just buy straight up laudanum by a draft. But if you want to make, yeah, that's why it's 1
more
gold.
economical to
1
make.
gold can make you 3 drafts of laudanum.
Yeah.
But if you want to buy 1 laudanum, they sell them for 4 gold
It's
apiece.
cheaper to buy the ingredients for a sandwich
Yep,
than the sandwich.
that makes sense.
So,
I like that you put it in food terms. That made me very
please,
happy randomly.
please think of what you want to purchase. We'll
Yes.
probably take care of that next time.
Mm-hmm.
As stepping out, make awareness tests.
Standard?
Yes.
Success.
Fail.
Fail. Oh.
Anya sees as a relatively young, probably late 20s, woman with straw blonde hair, tied back with a bonnet to keep her hair collected while she works. As she walks around the corner, you can see that she's pulling her high-collared bolero tighter. And it's Anya that sees a flash of metal coming out from her flesh, just above her left breast, as she pulls the bolero tight. And she looks to you and says, I'm sorry, I was in the middle of taking some medication. What can I do for you? And that's where we'll end tonight's game.
You alright? You okay?
Nikita thinks if she dies, we don't have to pay her for the opium pots.
Oh my god!
And that's it.
Next week.
So, I have been Conry. With me has been
Cake.
Just Kevin.
Sandra Lake.
See you guys next time. And until we see you again, remember to always stay evil. Good night, everybody.